Hey guys, Spang here, bringing you something of a video per request. Some of you have been asking, what exactly are the tanks that I have? Some of you have asked to basically see my garage, and as you can see right now, there is still the military parade weekend garage thing going on. But be forewarned, I have no idea what I'm doing. You guys just said, I want to see what tanks you have, and maybe hear what tanks you are trying to get or would like to have. And so, yeah, I'm doing this because I love you guys. And right off the bat, we're going to start off with my, I guess, the primary tanks. You can set tanks as primary and reserve for those of you who didn't know. But my primary tanks are my T110E5, which, as you can tell, my crew fairly upgraded on this, working towards the third skill. I'm not quite sure how many battles total, and I'm not going to look into it, but you can see they're pretty along their way. Then next we have my T110E4. Oh yeah, you guys know about this. I scored over 9,000 damage in one battle with this baby. This thing hits hard and it kind of moves slow, but it's got decent armor. It does pretty well for itself. I have to say, definitely one of my favorite tanks when I can play it properly. Not all the time. Every now and again I have some really bad matches in this thing, but you know. Still, as you can tell, crew on this not quite as well trained, but still on their third skill. Almost to 64% on that, except for this fourth guy. If you're wondering why he's at 92%, he used to be on my T30 back in the day when that back in the day when that was a tier 10 vehicle, and I think it had like 6 crew spots or 5. And so when the T110E5 came out, I kept most of my crew from that on this, and then I moved that one remaining crew member over to my T110E4, so that's why he's still there. But I guess you guys don't really care about that, do you? So here we go, my GW Type E, my Faust Cannon. As you can see, I have so aptly named it. If you know what that means, I will totally think you're one of the coolest people ever, if you totally get what reference I'm going for there. Maybe the horse shield insignia might give some of it away as well. But anyway, yes, nice camo paint job too, even though tier 8 arty doesn't hide all too well. Still, as you can tell, third crew skill on this is going, some of them are a bit more. I've frequently kind of retrained and reevaluated. I used to have on my gunner, what was it, Deadeye? It's the one that basically increases your chances of critical hits. I found out that doesn't apply to high explosive shells, so I figured, I'll get rid of that because I don't really use anything more than HE. I mean, sure, I have some AP loaded on this thing, but it's not really anything that I pull out that often because AP just doesn't. It's so iffy if you're gonna even hit, and I prefer to just go with the tried and true high explosive rounds. So, also, I mean, if you've been paying attention, I'm not really gonna go into detail over what my equipment is on this stuff. You can kind of look down there and see for yourself, but yeah. So moving on, although I will say this, for artillery, if you are not using gasoline on artillery, if you have a fire extinguisher there, you are wrong. You should totally use gasoline on your artillery. It helps you move a little better. It helps you dodge those arty shells. I mean, granted, it's gonna help you only a little bit, but it's still some help. But moving on, the IS-4. I had this back when it was a tier 9, and I got it when the shift happened. Now, one thing I was annoyed about was this whole deal where your stock gun is a tier 8. I was like, oh, really? Come on. Just really, World of Tanks devs? That annoyed me. But at the same time, I had my IS-8, so I just played that to unlock that gun. And, you know, nothing was really lost. But second crew skill, almost done on that. Hopefully get that done sometime soon. I don't really play my tier 10s as much as I probably should to train up their crew. Same kind of goes for the IS-7. Third crew skill at 85%. I mean, not third, second crew skill at 85%. It's looking pretty good right now. I really do like this thing. It's a pretty solid tank. I mean, when you think about it, it's definitely more bouncy than the T110E5. It absorbs those shells a little bit better. Its rate of fire, yeah, sure, it's slower, but its gun also does a little bit more damage per shot, so that kind of comes into a factor. But really, it's all a matter of how you like to play your tanks. And this only has 50 less HP with somewhat what I would perceive to be better survivability when it comes to armor. So honestly, it's a hard. If this crew was on its third skill, I might play this in Clan Wars more than I play my T110E5. Because I do like my S7, especially with the recent increase where its top speed is now 60 kilometers per hour. Downhill, this thing moves. But moving on, the T71, got the little inscription here. Yes, I did pay for it. I wanted Hell on Wheels, fine. You can hate me. But going, you can tell, crew on this not very well trained, and that is because they are on my T69. I kept my T71 because, well, it's a really good scout tank. It's a really fun tank to play, and I didn't really want to sell it. So the T71, definitely a strong vehicle. Now I also have my Pershing, second crew skill, same as on my T69, second crew skill. But they are basically, this Pershing, fully upgraded. I'm just waiting to buy my patent. I don't have the credits right now, but I am going to be getting my patent sometime in the near future. T34. I did not buy this. This was given to me. Because, not by anyone, just because I had it when the Switch happened, and I got it for free. Because, you know, if you remember back in the days when the T34 was a Tier 9, a pretty baller T39, I mean T39, wow. Tier 9, yeah, it did very well. More than people perceived. Honestly, I did really well on my T34 back when it was a Tier 9, and a lot of people were like, oh great, T34s. I would much rather have an E75 or an IS4. And back in the days when the IS4 was a Tier 9, it was arguably the best Tier 9. But T34 did very well for itself if you knew how to play it. Now, moving on, the T18, if you're asking why do I have this, because every now and again I like to go in the low tiers and kind of just troll some noobs. Does that make me a bad person? Probably, but you know, I did get 10 kills in this thing one time, and a Delanglades medal, which is kill 4 or more enemies on the capture point while they're trying to basically take your base. It's, in my opinion, it's definitely overpowered, without a doubt. But, you know, is Wargaming gonna fix it? Probably not. Next, my Black Prince, considerably larger than my T18, fully upgraded, definitely surprisingly bouncy. Especially when you consider the fact it has the same armor values as the Churchill 7. It kind of came as a surprise to me when I realized just how hard it is to get through this thing's armor. Does it still get penetrated? Yes, but it does bounce its fair share of shells. So, a pleasant little surprise. VK1602 Leopard, definitely, I describe this tank as meh. It's not really exceptional. It's not really horrible, but it is fully upgraded. So, yeah. I'm trying, now if you're wondering why I have this, it's because I was looking for a scout tank, and I started researching this before this new line came up. So, I was going for the VK2801 back when it was just an exclusive scout tank. Does that mean maybe for my scout tank, I might go over to the Russian line and pick up a 50-2? Or maybe the American line and pick up a Chaffee? Possibly, but I don't really have the garage slots at the moment. Still, where is the 50-2? I don't see it. Here it is. Okay. Maybe I'll pick this up sometime. I don't know. I think it's... My T71 is really my scout tank. So, Tiger 2. Not fully upgraded, as you can tell. I am waiting on the gun. The final gun here. I'm about, what? A little over halfway to it. Not too bad. VK4502 Alpha, not as bad as some people make it out to be. Is it the worst Tier 8 tank out there? Debatable. It's not the best, I'll say that much, but it is fully upgraded as well. Most of the tanks in my garage are fully upgraded or close enough to it. The Ferdinand, decently bouncy. Its armor isn't the impregnable wall some people make it out to be. It's definitely got its weak points. It definitely takes its fair share of shells for damage. But again, I'm still waiting on that final upgraded gun. I'll be happy when I get it. Definitely close to that. I'm at 45,000, close to 46,000 research points. 1375. Not a fan of this tank. Even though it is fully upgraded, I have to say, just 144 penetration. Really? Really, Wargaming, you're going to give me 144 pen on a Tier 7 vehicle? Ugh. I hate it. But at the same time, I can still play it. I think I have first class on this right now, not mastery badge still. Not ace tanker. Lorraine 155 50. I am a fan of some artillery pieces, and as you can tell, I'm trying to make my way to the Batchat 155 because autoloader arty is totally not overpowered in any way whatsoever. Sarcasm. T127. This is a premium tank. You got this with the promo code, and to the best of my knowledge, it is not available for purchase. It is a very good tier 3. Does very well in tier 3. Against tier 4s, not so much, but I do have a reputation of getting a top gun for every 10 matches I play in this thing or sooner. I mean, if you don't believe me, hold on. Let's just prove this fact here. Here it is, T127. 99 battles played at my T127. 11 top guns and 2 Confederates. And 1 steel wall, a couple Spartans, and 6 cool-headeds. Like I said, the T127, possibly overpowered. At least in my hands, it's overpowered. So I do have a couple low-tier tanks I like to go in and troll the new players a bit. You know, as some people have called it, seal clubbing. Yeah. Okay, KV2, if you're wondering why I have this, it's because, again, I like to have something in each tier, or at least that lets me play in most tiers. And I perceive the KV2 to be a very good vehicle. Now, if you're looking, yes, I do carry heat derps, gold rounds, and I do go around and frequently just go, I'm gonna kill things in one shot. Boom. It's, again, I might be a horrible person, but, don't judge. Again, you can tell, I haven't been discussing it, but that's because if you want to know what I have on this thing, you can just look down here, and you can look what my crew skills are on the side. This video is in 1080p, so you should be able to make out the videos. Granted, it's not 100% super high definition because that would take forever to upload and forever to load on YouTube just because of the quality. I try to find a nice balance between quality and playtime, be reasonable. But moving on, the SU-100, if you're wondering why I have this, it is 1, because it's a very good vehicle, and 2, because I do plan at some point getting the SU-100 M1 on my track to get the Object 263. It's, I'll say this much, I'm in no hurry to get it. I have my priorities, like the mouse, which is why I have my VK4502 Alpha, and my T57 Heavy, which is why I have my T69. I do have priorities on what tanks I'm going for. And pretty much most of the vehicles in my garage are in the effort to get to a top tier vehicle. So, the ISU-152, not fully upgraded, but you can tell it's upgraded where it counts if you don't know what I mean. I mean, it has the big Tier 10 BL-10 gun. So a Tier 10 gun on a Tier 8 tank destroyer, definitely something to be scared of. Every time you see an ISU in a match, you should probably be a little bit afraid. As you can tell, I don't have the tracks on it, and if you're wondering how I mounted everything on it without tracks, torsion bars. I definitely abuse that equipment. And finally, the S51, that is the end of my garage slots. I think that comes up to 22 tanks total. The S51, fully upgraded on my track to the Object 261. So let's just go through again and cover what tanks I'm researching. I'm currently at the S51 trying to get the Object 261, at the ISU 152 on track to get the Object 268, at the SU 100 on track to get the Object 263, at the KV2 on track to get nothing, T127 on track to get nothing, Lorraine 15550 on track to get the Batchat 155, the AMX 1375 on track to get the Batchat, the Ferdinand on track to get the Jagdpanzer E100, that big ass gun. I gotta say, I'm in no hurry. Let's leave it at that. The Jagdpanzer E100 has its flaws. The VK4502 OSF A, yeah, on track to get the mouse. The King Tiger, otherwise known as the Tiger 2, on track to get the E100. The Leopard, I guess, on track to get the Leopard 1, the Tier 10 Leopard. Black Prince on track to get the FV, the FV215 Bravo. The T18 on track to get, again, nothing. The T34, it's a premium tank, so clearly not trying to get anything there. T69 on track to get the T57 Heavy. M26 Pershing on track to get the M48 Patton. T71, just another fun tank. IS-7, IS-4, GW Type E, T110E4, and T110E5. So if you guys have any questions, I hope you guys just let me know. I'll answer them in the comments section below. But like I said, some of you guys really wanted to just know what was going on with my garage, see what tanks I have, what tanks I'm going for. And I figured I'd kind of just do this to inform you guys. So yeah, I guess, like I said, I didn't really know what I was doing in this video. You guys, it's just a request video. And hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And until, so if you like this video, if you have another request video, let me know. If you, definitely hit that like button, please, if you like it. If you want to see more, subscribe, which I don't know why you would be watching this if you weren't a subscriber. That kind of would be weird, but, you know, whatever. And I'm not going to say the replay thing because that doesn't really apply here. And right now I've got a lot going on, so I'm not saying don't send in replays. I'm just saying it'll be a while before I get to them. That's all. Anyway, happy tanking. This is Spang, signing off.